meeting of minds on a sacred fire of intellectual compatibility. My beloved, let us speak plainly. There comes a time when the body gets tired, when the lips fall silent, when the beauty fades and the bed grows cold. And in that hour, there is no song, no dance, no thrill. You will find yourself sitting across from some soul you chose. And the questions will be simple. Can we talk to them? We are taught to fall in love with beauty. We are taught how to chase after chemistry, but we are not taught how to choose a mind that stirs our own. We are not taught to crave conversation that keeps us awake at night, not from lust, but from wonder. Proverbs 4:7 says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. You hear that? With all thy getting, get understanding. Not just romance, not just bodies pressed together in the dark. Get understanding. Find someone who speaks the language of your spirit, who doesn't just nod when you talk, but answers. Who doesn't just mirror your mind, but challenges it, expands it, sharpens it like steel on steel. Proverbs 27:17 says, iron strengthens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friends. That is just not poetry, it is instruction. If your mind is a flame, let your partner be the oxygen and not the water. Let them be the ones who fans the fire, not extinguishes it. Let them ask the dangerous questions with you. Let them sit with your doubt, your ideas, your philosophies, and bring their own. Because the truth is, beloved, many of us have married our reflection, but not our partner. We've chosen agreement over growth, comfort over challenge, and the soul cannot thrive in a room with no windows. We talk to loved ones as emotions, but love is also education. You must keep learning each other. You must speak a language that involves. You must be curious, not just about them, but about life. If you love science, find someone who wants to talk about the stars. If you love literature, find someone who gets lost in the pages with you. If you love the word, find someone who can break it open beside you, not just in church, but in life, the kitchen, the car, in the night. And if your mind is wandering, hungry, searching, and theirs is closed, dull, distracted, what then? You will sit at the table with a feast inside of you and no one to eat it with. That, my friend, is a quiet kind of death. Now, I know what the world says. They say as long as you click, the rest will follow. But let me tell you something. Love that lasts is not made of clicks, but conversations. And not just how was your day or what's for dinner. But why do you believe what you believe? What makes your heart move? What do you think God is saying to this world right now? That is a talk that binds souls. That is a talk that opens heaven. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 reminds us, two are better than one, for if they fall, the one will lift us up as follow. But how, I ask you, can someone lift what they do not see? How can they lift a thought if they cannot meet it? How can they carry your vision if they never look beyond their own? Let me be even plainer. If you must dumb down yourself to be understood, if you must shrink your ideas to avoid conflict, if you must speak in circles just to be heard, you're not in a partnership, you are in a prison. 1 Corinthians 2:16 says, but if we have the mind of Christ, and the Christ, my friends, was not simple-minded. He was not afraid to ask the hard questions. He was not afraid to speak in parables and challenge the minds of his disciples. He taught his friends. He walked with thinkers. He sharpened their intellect and awakened their purpose. Should our relationships not strive for the same? I think so. Now listen, I'm not saying your partner must think exactly like you, but I'm saying they must be willing to think. They must have a mind you can enter, and they must be able to enter yours. For two minds moving together, questioning, learning, dreaming, that is a holy dance. That is how empires are built. That is how ministries are born. That is how generational curses are broken. Because two people dare to dream in the same language. Philippians 2:2 says, fulfill me, ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. So I say to you, when choosing love, choose a mind that feeds you. Choose a mind that awakens you. Choose a mind that loves truth more than comfort. And if you have already chosen, ask yourself, am I still listening? Am I still curious? Are we still growing together? Because intellectually, compatibility, beloved, is not about knowing the same things. It's about wanting to know together. So don't just fall in love with a body. Fall in love with a voice. Fall in love with a question. Fall in love with a mind that can walk beside yours when everything else falls away. That is the love that lasts. That is the union that God can use forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Amen.